Hey, wait, stop. This isn't a sermon, I promise. It's a pastoral moment. After Sunday's message titled A Home God Can Build On, I kept thinking about the people who probably nodded their heads in church, but they went home feeling overwhelmed. Because, believing God has a blueprint is one thing, but living it out in real life with schedules, with stress, with broken relationships, and complicated family dynamics, that's another thing. So today, I don't want to re-preach the message, I promise. I just want to sit with you right in the middle of your tension. Here's the reality many families are living in right now. You want a faith filled home, but you feel tired. You want spiritual rhythms, but you're barely keeping up. You want consistency, but your life feels anything but stable. And if we're honest, sometimes church messages about building can feel heavy, like it's just one more thing that I'm not doing well enough. But let me say this clearly before we go any further. God is not standing over your family with a clipboard. He's standing beside you as a builder. And that should change everything, the way that you view God. In the sermon, we talked about Jesus' words in Matthew 7. We talked about two houses and two different foundations. What's interesting is that I'm assuming both houses looked finished. Maybe from the outside, they appeared the same. Maybe the difference wasn't appearance, the difference was what they're anchored to. And here's what I want to add that we didn't fully unpack on Sunday. The foundation Jesus talks about isn't perfection, it's responsiveness. The wise builder wasn't someone who got everything right. He was someone who heard Jesus and he acted on what he could. He acted on what he heard. That means faithfulness doesn't look like having it all together. It looks like saying, God, here's what I can offer you just today. And so I want to speak to a few homes directly. If you're a parent and you feel like you're failing, you're not. Just showing up, apologizing, praying imperfect prayers, that's faith practiced in the home. If you're a single parent, your household is not lacking. God builds on faith, not numbers. If you're a blended family, God isn't confused by the complexity within the family unit. He actually specializes in building beauty out of different layers. He's good like that. And if your home feels unstable right now, emotionally, financially, relationally, hear this. God often builds strongest foundations in unstable seasons because that's when we learn to rely on Him and not ourselves. So, what if building a home God can build on doesn't start with adding more, but with releasing pressure? What if faith in the home looks like one prayer instead of none, one honest conversation, one decision to respond instead of react, just one moment of surrender? Jesus never asked for perfect homes, He just asked for surrendered hearts. So here's my invitation as we wrap up. Don't ask, am I building the right kind of home? Ask, am I inviting God into the one that I already have? Because God doesn't wait for excuse me, God doesn't wait for conditions to improve before He starts building. He builds with what's available. So if this conversation encouraged you today, would you share it with someone who needs a little grace? And remember, a home that God can build on isn't flawless, it's faithful. So thanks for spending a few moments with me, and I will see you soon. God bless.